All right, let's give this a try. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Is it the vacuum cleaner? It is the vacuum cleaner. I think. Yes, one of three. I'm in Cleveland, the mistake on the lake. And welcome to the show. Glad you could be here. Hopefully, quality will maintain to some degree over this next little bit. And we'll bring in the chat room. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Don't forget to hit the like, share the show, etc., etc., etc. And it looks like it's streaming okay. All right, so I'm gonna close that window out and save myself the computation power. Good to see you guys in general. Now, yes, hello Cleveland. And in honor of both Rob Reiner and his genius, and of course the fact that I'm in Cleveland. I'm wearing my Spinal Tap Shark Sandwich hoodie. It's a rarity. It's a treasured thing a fan gave me once, and I will never part with it. Which is true of almost everything that fans give me, with the exception of food, because bless your heart, but never give someone you like that's a stranger food that didn't come in a package, because it's too much room for shenanigans. That's all I'm going to say. If you want to see why celebrities don't like to eat food cooked for them by their fans, watch the soup sketch from The Kids in the Hall. That's all I'm going to say. It's Kevin McDonald and let's see, who it was, Dave Foley. I'm just saying. And I do not have bedhead, not at all. I just have flyaway hair because we were out in the snow. There's a heavy amount of wind right now and snow. It's crazy. And we went out because there's it's just family stuff. It's not important for you guys, but it was some relatively serious turns of events where, when it rains, it pours, ladies and gentlemen. And, oh, by the way, I figured out why my monitor didn't work this morning. Shit cable. This is one of those cables that's not fast enough for the data necessary for a monitor. So I swapped it out, and it's all good now. There is too sound on YouTube. And if there isn't, something evil is going on. Yes, the lake effect. You look kind of stoned. Thank you. I think it's really just the hair and the beard, I think, pretty much, that sells that. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. I think it looks all right as well. So, I mean, I am approaching that zone where I look like the bass player for a 70s rock band, but I'm fine with that. I'm completely fine with that. All right, we're going to jump straight into clips because in many ways there are two things I want to cover right away. The brevity of them, I think, is one of the things I appreciate the most. The first of which is the Zelensky meeting with Trump, the full thing. I have seen a bunch of clips of this, but I don't see anybody covering the whole thing like yours truly is wont to do. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the entirety of the POTUS Zelensky speech. Now, for the sake of time, I may skip stuff that Zelensky says because I trust it is sane and needs no interruption. But in general, we'll see. I'm going to focus on this. Well, you know what? There's two of them. There are two things to focus on: the Zelensky one, and then of course the Netanyahu one. Let me show you something about the Netanyahu one that stood out. Let me see if I can get. I guess the audio should be loud enough. I hope. Listen to something. See if you spot something before Trump starts speaking.
You people could come in. Come on over, fellas.
It's kind of out of breath for just walking across a room. Did anybody else notice that? Is it just me? I don't think it is. Listen to that again.
You people could come in. Come on over, fellas.
We
had a big meeting with a lot of people, a lot of town.
Yeah, apparently it was on a treadmill. What the hell? Let's see. Boy, does this fat stink. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? I mean, they didn't run. He's huffing and puffing from a short walk. And it's not like, minor short of breath because he was speaking or some shit. Like,
If people could come in, come on over, fellas. We had a big meeting with a lot of people, a lot of talent from Israel and from the U.S.
I see. So, did you guys sit around with instruments and play old American standards?
And I think we came to a lot of conclusion.
Yes, one of them being that there will be no conclusion.
A lot of conclusion and conclusions.
A lot of conclusion and conclusions. So, one big conclusion and a lot of little ones. And the big conclusion was, of course, nothing has changed.
And there's very little difference.
Two of the most useless fucking meetings in the history of diplomacy. Not since Putin in Alaska have there been two more useless meetings over more serious things than Zelensky's meeting with Trump and Netanyahu's meeting with Trump. Oh, by the way, these meetings they have value, don't get me wrong. The value is that Trump can force the government to basically move the entire White House staff and his security detail down to Mar-a-Lago so that the cost of it to the taxpayer will keep that dump afloat for a year.
And what we're looking at and where we want to be, where we want to go.
What we want to say, where we want to, whether we, I feel like dancing, want to dance the night away.
And so I just want to thank you for spending time. I know you're going to be over here for a couple of days, and maybe we'll be surprising us on New Year's Eve. That'll be fine.
Oh, thank you.
And it's wonderful seeing you and Sarah and your whole group. Very talented group. We've done very good work together, and it'll...
Really? You working on a dance number? Is this the part where... both of these, by the way, both of these meetings should be summed up with either Zelensky or Netanyahu is Gene Wilder, and Trump is Peter Boyle. If you so you don't know where to go to, what to go where fashion sits. Like, that's what this is. This is a like Frankenstein's monster dog and pony show.
It'll continue. So thank you very much, baby.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let's take a handshake picture. Because that's what the terms of the blackmail are.
I have to say that
I might be standing next to the sexiest man who's ever lived. Smartest, too. Obviously keen, understands all the issues. And I'm not just saying this because he's a dopey egomaniac who responds to flattery.
I have to say that
No, you don't.
in addition to what I said, that we've never had a friend.
A better friend than Israel's never had a better friend. By the way, if people point about this, that Netanyahu has always said Iran is this close to a nuclear weapon. The phrase he repeats more than ever is that this president is the greatest friend Israel has ever had. And he said it about every president that he's been in office during at least once.
Friend, even close, a friend, as President Trump in the White House. I think he's been extraordinary in his friendship and his support for Israel, his principled positions.
What principles would those be? That Epstein was a creep, but he was my creep, and that makes it all right.
His willingness to just cut through and get to the essence of things. And I don't say that as a compliment. I just mean it. People have heard me say that behind your back, Mr. President.
Among other things.
Many times. But I want to say something else. I think we have a partnership, if I can quote you.
By the way, the phrase is both in your presence and out of your presence, not behind your back. But whatever.
Second to none. I think it's allowed us to do enormous things. You know, people said there was a different conception at one time, which means that America can.
Oh my God, Colleen, thank you so much.
If it opens a lot of daylight between it and Israel. And President Trump has done the exact opposite. He's achieved remarkable things in the Middle East because we work together. We talk about our ideas. Sometimes we have different ideas, but we work it out. And most of the time we see eye to eye. But it's been a remarkable experience, and this was a very, very productive meeting. And may I say, a very good lunch. Thank you.
Yes, the food was delicious. We had baked Palestinian.
Thank you for your friendship.
Thank you very much.
Jesus Christ. They were talking about Kushner's plan to level Gaza and build Trump Plaza there. I'm not kidding. Like, that's what this is about. It's about having a technocrat run the place. Using the premise of getting rid of Hamas, which is a good thing in terms of governance, to eliminate any governance by any Palestinian group. They're literally going to have an international, you know, the Board of Peace or whatever the shit that Trump is the chairman of are going to run Gaza. That's what they were discussing. What a dipshit. Okay.
And thank you for your support. It's meant from the heart.
And the asparagus was terrific. I noticed you didn't touch yours. You stuck to the well-done steak with ketchup on it.
Thank you. You know, as I said outside, he's been a wartime prime minister, and we...
Yes, because it's A, it's the region, and B, he's for it.
Well, look, I guess I could say I was a wartime president in more places than just Israel, if you think about it. But Israel was a big...
What? First of all, no. You're not a wartime president if it's not our war. And for any, like, we've helped wars and we've aided other countries in their battles over the years, but that's not, it doesn't make it our war, you fucking dipshit.
A big factor, and we're with you, and we'll continue to be with you, and a lot of good
No kidding.
things are happening.
Yes, they are. Especially, are they putting in the big cock-shaped pool at Trump Plaza Gaza that's going to be gold? And of course, it's, you know, obviously not built to scale, or it'd be this tiny little mushroom wading pool, very shallow, and obviously the water would be murky.
In the Middle East, we have peace in the Middle East, and we're going to try and keep it that way.
No, you don't.
I think we will be very successful in keeping it that way. And you've been a great friend, and I've been a great friend to you and
if I do say so myself.
to Israel. And it's been my honor. And the award that I was given was really
It was almost a Nobel Peace Prize, but kind of not as good as FIFA.
surprising and very much appreciated.
Well, President Trump has broken so many conventions
Laws. The word you're looking for is laws.
to the surprise of people, and then they figure out,
Excuse me?
oh well, maybe, you know, he was right after all. So we decided
No.
to break a convention too, or create a new one, and that is to award the Israel Prize, which in almost our 80 years, we've never awarded it to a non-Israeli, and we're going to award it this year.
Boy, is Ian Carroll and Candace Owens and that crowd going to love this. I swear to God. Please, I want a picture of that award. And if you ever want to just throw a monkey wrench into the MAGA Civil War, all you have to do is tweet out a picture of that award. Does it have Epstein's face on it?
This year, to President Trump, this was announced formally over lunch.
Yes. It was a formal lunch, so it was appropriate.
By our Minister of Education, who's responsible for the Israel Prize. It's going to be awarded to President Donald
What, did he get a scholarship to dipshit you?
J. Trump for his tremendous contributions.
Nobel Prize from the Israeli Department of Education. and it's almost as stupid as it is like wonderful, in that it will cause all of the maggots to go, see, I told you, they got him in his pocket. Probably got all those Epstein files. They have copies of them, the ones he's not releasing. That was a wonderful award you gave me. I put it right on the mantle next to my soccer peace prize and my the best husband ever award I got from Melania #5. She's my favorite body double. Smallest nose and biggest penis.
To Israel and the Jewish people.
Oh, sorry. You don't think the fake Melanias are women, do you? You don't actually think that the phony Melanias are female? Oh, you didn't want to go there? You didn't think that that's a... Put a pin in that for later.
People. I think there's... It's such a fitting thing.
Yes. For your education secretary to give Donald Gibberish Trump an award. Holy Christ. Did he get it from the Wizard of Oz?
And it would honor us, obviously, Mr. President, if you could visit Israel.
And pick it up, because the shipping cost with the tariffs is just too expensive. Unfortunately, the tariffs make it too expensive for us to send you the award. So if you come back and smuggle it in your luggage, that would help us out. Oh, shit.
In that occasion, on our Independence Day. But I have to say that this reflects the overwhelming sentiment of Israelis across the spectrum. They appreciate what you've done to help Israel.
Yes. From the war hawks to the neocons to the straight up psychotics in our community. Like it goes, there's a couple of hippie types that don't like it, but you can't please everybody.
And to help our common battle against the terrorists and those who would destroy our civilization. So, again, that's an expression of thanks and appreciation.
Thank you, baby, very much.
Thank you, baby, very much, because I haven't gotten another award, and since I can't be nominated in January, I am never going to get a Nobel Peace Prize unless it's posthumous, if I have to wait another year.
It really is a great honor. Any questions, please? We'll go.
Oh, yes, I have several, but...
Pretty quickly, because pretty much we agree on most...
Because we don't have any answers to anything?
Most of the things, and you would know what most of those things are. Please.
Why? How would they know? What are you talking about?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to know if you and the Prime Minister talked about having Israel pull back its troops before Hamas fully disarms. I know that's been an issue. Did you push for that today?
Well, we talked about Hamas and we talked about disarmament.
Really? No kidding. That the topics came up? Did you talk about any specifics?
And they're going to be given a very short period of time to disarm, and we'll see how that works out. Steve would...
And if they don't do it, they will be obliterated in the name of peace.
Koff and Jared Kushner will be in charge of that from our side. But if they don't disarm, as they agreed to do, they agreed to it.
No, they didn't.
Then they'll be held to pay for them.
Because we have peace, and we can't have that peace interrupted.
And we don't want that.
No.
We're not looking for that. But
what if they have a doctrine of peace through strength? Then what? What if they tell you? What if Hamas says, "But sir, our doctrine is peace through strength"? Then what do you say? Besides, duh.
They have to disarm within a fairly short period of time.
Do you have an actual date on that, or is it just kind of? Are we using a lunar calendar?
Israel withdrawing its forces?
Well, that's a separate subject. We'll talk about that.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Mr. President, did you have a message for the Prime Minister about the West Bank? And are you at all concerned that settler violence, Israeli settler violence, could be undermining the peace plan?
Well, we have had a discussion, big discussion, for a long time on the West Bank. And I wouldn't say we agree on the West Bank 100%, but we will come to a conclusion on the West Bank.
If I could ask,
And what would be the disagreements?
what is the disagreement?
Well, I don't
Right, there you go. That's the guy literally asking, bless his heart, whoever.
want to do that. It'll be announced at an appropriate time. But
Wait a minute. You're having a joint press conference with the head of Israel about the policy. What more appropriate time? What, do you want to say it behind his back? Is that the point? Is that you don't want to say this until he's left?
he will do the right thing. I know that. I know him very well. He will do the right thing. Yes.
Real quick. Define the right thing, because a lot of us have seen what you think is the right thing, especially when it comes to, say, grabbing women, and we don't think it's right. So, in air quotes, maybe, with the right thing?
There is a growing fear of a confrontation between Israel and Turkey. How are you going to ease this tension given the fact that Erdogan
We're going to throw in some cranberry sauce and some stuffing, and then it won't be a conflict. It'll be Thanksgiving.
President Erdogan calls Mr. Netanyahu Hitler and compares Israel to the Nazis?
Well, I know President Erdogan very well, and as you
He's a very close friend of mine. Not as close as Bibi, but more close than, say, Macron.
all know, he's a very good friend of mine, and I believe that, and I do respect him, and Bibi respects him,
No, he doesn't.
and they're not going to have a problem. They're not going to have a problem. I know him very well, and you've seen me do things with President Erdogan and Turkey
Ew.
that nobody else could have done.
Well, I didn't. We're all shocked by your physical flexibility in moments like that. Maybe it's the baby oil.
We're not going to have a problem. He's done a fantastic job. I'm with
Fantastic job. Just like Caroline Levitt, just like Steve Witkoff, just like Peter Navarro, just like everybody until I don't like them anymore.
him all the way. I'm with Bibi all the way. Nothing's going to happen. Yes.
Mr. President, are you concerned that Israel is not moving quickly enough to phase 2 of the peace plan?
Well, I'm not concerned about anything that Israel's doing. I'm concerned about what other people are doing or maybe aren't doing. But I'm
Or could be doing, or shouldn't be doing. Or should, but aren't, or could, but couldn't. Maybe they can't. Maybe they should, but they should all over themselves.
not concerned. They've lived up to the plan.
No.
They're strong. They're solid.
They're sexy. They got firm buttocks. Look at the man. He's powerful, strong. He answered very strongly in the same way that, when I asked Vladimir Putin about whether he screwed with our elections, he answered very strongly. And I was like, ow, that's not your thumb.
And sometimes they don't understand when somebody violates something that you want to give them a second chance. Well, we'll give them a couple of second chances. But no,
Well, then it wouldn't be it would be a third chance and a couple of second chances would be 4 or 6 chances.
Israel's lived up to the plan 100%.
Nope.
Don't forget, we made the plan possible by taking out Iran. And speaking of Iran,
Iran exists. He does know that,
I
right?
hope they're not trying to build up again, because if
They are.
they are, we're going to have no
They are.
choice but very quickly to eradicate that buildup. So I hope Iran is not trying to build up, as I've been reading, that they're building up weapons
Oh, thanks for telling us what's in your presidential daily brief.
and other things. And if they are, they're not using the sites that we obliterated, but they
Probably not. But then, hey, maybe they're being tricky. What do how do you know? Maybe that's the trick. How do you stand up for your opinions? Such a bunny rabbit. I envy your courage. You don't have to. You can rest in them, state them, and let the silence do its work. If you don't want to, you don't have to argue them, especially if they're principled. The other thing too is if the burden of immorality is theirs, lay that egg on their doorstep and walk away. Let them deal with it. Let them wrestle with it. And that's, if you look at, like I said, mocking maggots is the only way to get through to them because they can't take it. They always talk about how our side can't take a joke, but they really can't. You can't. We can make fun of our leaders and shit on them all we want, sometimes to our detriment. But they cannot mock Trump and get away with it. Hold on, let me play this again.
But they're using possibly different sites. We know exactly where they're going, what they're doing, and I hope they're not doing it because...
Well, if you know exactly where they're going and what they're doing, then you do know what they're doing, and so they're obviously doing something. I just did it, and I'd do it again. I love to do it.
We don't want to waste the fuel on a B-2. It's a
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's the reason.
37-hour trip both ways. I don't want to waste a lot of fuel. Okay?
The fuck? What do you mean, bombing them if they don't deserve it? What the hell? Honest to God. I don't want to waste the fuel. Hold on one second. Okay.
Your last remarks regarding the pardon request of Prime Minister Netanyahu, Herzog office told us that you have not talked after the official request of Prime Minister Netanyahu pardon. Can you clarify to us? Did you talk
Which
about
request
it
are you talking about?
with the President Herzog, the Israeli President Herzog? Did you talk with him directly?
President Erdogan?
Herzog, the Israeli
Oh,
President.
so you're talking
Herzog.
about pardon?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you got to say that. No,
No, they don't, because they were telling you about the president of Israel, specifically about the charges against Netanyahu. So why the fuck would they have to mention anybody else? Dipshit.
I think he's going to be in great shape. He's a wartime prime minister at the highest level. He's...
What? Hold on. At the highest level?
Or before right now, maybe. You wouldn't have Israel any longer. Israel would not exist. I'd say two of them would, and 8 of them wouldn't. Those are not good odds. You needed a very special man to.
Hold on, wait,
really
back
through.
Wait, back the fuck up. To what?
Have Israel any longer? Israel would not exist. I'd say two of them would, and 8 of them wouldn't. Those are not good odds. You needed a very special man to.
Wait, sorry. The odds of Israel existing or not existing are 8-2. Against. No, yeah. 8-2, 4, I guess, the existence. Huh? Oh, shit. All right. Give me one. Shit. This is so weird.
To really carry through and really help Israel through this horrible jam. You know, these are major factions, and it started with our negotiation with Iran. I think it probably started with Soleimani. That was really where you mentioned that today, which started with Soleimani. Bad guy, doing bad things, hurting a lot of people, killing American soldiers and other soldiers. But it started right there, would probably be the starting point. And then from that point forward, but you have a wartime prime minister at the highest level. There could be other wartime prime ministers, but they'd lose. He won.
What?
And I think the people of Israel appreciate it. I think a lot of the people in the world appreciate it, actually. And because of that victory, we were able to get peace in the Middle East.
I see. So, again, what were the terms of the peace deal with the Gazans, with the Palestinians in Gaza specifically, between Israel and them? What were the terms? The terms were identical to what the Biden administration was asking for. The difference is that Bibi Netanyahu insisted on 10 more months of bombing before he moved ahead. That's it. That was the only defining difference. 10 more months of bombing.
If you had a different kind of a personality, if you had a weak person or a stupid person, and there are plenty of both of them,
Yeah, we've seen your cabinet meetings.
you would not have had success, and you might not have Israel. And you report for Israel. I know you're very proud of it, and you do a great job. You might not have a job because there might not be an Israel right now if you had a different prime minister. That's a big statement, but to me, it's a very simple statement to make. I'm looking at Pete Hegseth, and he's sort of nodding.
Sort of.
If they don't have a strong
He might just be drunk. You do realize he nods off. Is that what you mean?
Prime Minister Pete, you might not have Israel today. I think he'll go down in the record books. And, you know, I was a
I think he'll go down too.
big help.
For corruption, probably.
I'll be honest with you. Big help. Somebody said in the room, if you don't have Trump, you needed a proper combination of everything. And
I
if
agree.
you didn't have that combination, which
You wouldn't have cupcakes.
they had, you would not have an existing Israel right now. And the people
Oh my God, this is the whole like. If it hadn't been for me, you wouldn't have a country anymore. Like this is just like a muscle memory. It's the same thing he says about the United States.
of Israel know it. That's why they like me, and it's why they actually like him. He's got a little bit of a love-hate more than I do over there. But you know what? Even the haters have a lot of respect for him. There's a lot of jealousy about him. A lot of
Yeah, it's about his height and his looks, I think.
jealousy. Jealousy is a bad word.
It is. It's bad. Like, you shouldn't say it. It's right up there with the N-word. Nuclear. Or nipple. Which one was it again?
But I believe you would not have Israel right now, so it's a big deal. Yeah, please.
A recent poll showed that as many as half of Gazans would be willing to leave the Gaza Strip if afforded the opportunity to do so.
As many as... what about the other half of the most densely populated area, urban area on the planet?
So back in February, you said that all Gazans should be.
I heard that number today. Half of Gaza would leave. I've always said it. I said if they were given the opportunity to live in a better climate, they would move. They're there because they sort of have to be. I think it would be a great opportunity, but let's see if that opportunity presents itself. But
You mean the other Arab countries that won't let them move there?
we're helping the people of Gaza a lot.
Uh-huh. Yes, helping them to move close to a third-story window, Putin style.
So is Israel, by the way. So we'll see what happens. But I saw that it was a poll. It was actually more than half the people would leave if they were given the opportunity. And I've been saying that
No, less than half.
for a long time. It was, to me, it
Less than half. He just made up the
was
other.
common sense. So it's interesting.
Why wouldn't countries accept that?
Look, let's not talk about it because we don't want the controversy. Right now, we're helping Gaza. But if they were given the opportunity, I think even higher than that, the group that did the poll is usually, I call them negative pollsters. You have a lot of them. And yet this poll was, I think, very accurate, other than it would be more than half the people if given the opportunity. But they haven't been given that opportunity.
Okay, so you're going to welcome them to the United States then? I'll wait.
So we'll see what happens.
Point of understanding regarding Syria.
We do have an understanding regarding Syria.
I understand what the word Syria kind of means.
Now, with Syria, your new president, I respect him. He's a very strong guy, and that's what you need in Syria. You can't
Yes, nothing stronger than a former Al-Qaeda ISIS affiliate.
put a choir boy. You can't put somebody that's a perfect person. Everything's nice, no problems in life. You have the opposite there. He's a strong guy. We get along with him great. I can't ask for any more. He's been with us all the way. We had that mishap with ISIS, and he was with us all the way. He
Mishap?
was fighting us. He was fighting them.
Oh, he means when our soldiers were killed by a gunman. Mishap. He called... Wait. Hold on. Wait one fucking second. A Republican president referred to the murder of U.S. service people by a terrorist as a mishap. I know we've done the whole, oh my God, what if Obama? Oh my God, what if Biden? Oh my God, what if Clinton? But think about this for a second. Just, I think it's valuable occasionally to just recognize, especially for the maggots in the audience, and I know you're there. Hi. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You won't regret it any more than the rest of your choices. But the same president that maggots voted for, who said that POWs are not heroes, including the ones, by the way, who could have been traded and sent home early, but chose to stay, including those people, they're not heroes. That guy just called the murder of U.S. service people by an ISIS-related terrorist a mishap. How are you guys cool with that? I mean, I know you're cool with the Epstein files and his being friends with them for a quarter century, and them basically never being more than a 9-minute cab ride from each other. And of course, under Trump, both of his properties raided, but the evidence wasn't seized for some odd reason. And the Zorro Ranch was never raided when Trump's FBI went after him. And Trump's DOJ, run by a guy whose father gave Jeffrey Epstein his first job at an all-girls school that he was not qualified to have. I know you guys are cool with that. I know you guys are cool with Trump telling Howard Stern at one point that the bottom floor of age for him to have sex with a girl is 12. You guys, I know you're cool with that. And I know you've become cool over time with the idea that POWs aren't heroes, according to this president. But maybe at some point there's a last straw. Maybe at some point his flippant response to serious things about people you guys lie to everyone and pretend you care about, specifically our troops. Now, don't get me wrong. I've always thought that the support the troops thing from the Republicans has been largely bullshit. If you don't believe me, look at the people who are wearing purple Band-Aids to make fun of John Kerry's Purple Heart when he was running against George W. Bush, who never served and who skipped out on his service in the National Guard and probably ran drugs and money during Iran-Contra for his dad. And he was running against a guy who served in Vietnam and then testified against it and helped shut that war down. Was an integral part of having that happen. You guys wore purple Band-Aids to make fun of his injury he got in service. So I know you don't take any of this shit actually seriously. But I would like to hang that albatross around your neck any chance I get. And I'm going to. I'm going to continue to remind you how much you guys piss on the graves of our service people every time you let him get away with this shit. I mean, I know in the stack of other garbage that he does, this might not chart, but it is non-fucking stop. This guy denigrates our troops every chance he gets. It's fucking pitiful. And maggots have to answer for it. POWs are heroes, especially the kind like John McCain was, where he could have been traded and gone home because he was an officer. They would have sent him home early. The Viet Cong would have traded him early and released him as a matter of, sort of their honor system that they had. But he refused to go without the rest of the platoon he was with, the rest of the other prisoners. And he stayed as long as they were there. He showed courage in those situations. And I'm not a fan of John McCain's legislative history, but I can respect what he did then with a clear conscience. Meanwhile, Trump was a draft dodger. 5 deferments for bone spurs Get the fuck out of here. Yes, and 1 year ago, Jimmy Carter passed away. An amazing, incredible human being, and for all the like punchline he became as a human being, that dude pissed radioactive urine for 6 months because he stopped a nuclear meltdown. Go look that story up if you don't already know it. We talked about it on the show. We talked about it when he passed. You think Trump would ever go anywhere near any of that? Mishap. Shut the fuck up.
So I hope Israel, I'm sure that Israel and him will.
Hold on, let me back this up.
That mishap with ISIS.
Why do my headphones just kick out sometimes? What's going on? Or is it just me?
And he was with us all the way. He was fighting us. You know, he was fighting them. So I hope Israel, I'm sure that Israel and him will get along. I will try and make it so that they do get along. I think they will. Bibi, do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, well, our interest is to have a peaceful border with Syria. Our interest is to have, and we openly say it, we want to make sure that the border area right next to our border is safe. We don't have terrorists, we don't have attacks, and we also want to secure our Druze friends. And by the way, I think not only the Druze, but other minorities, especially the Christians, should be protected as well in Syria and throughout the Middle East and in Nigeria. In your efforts, we back completely because Christian communities are beleaguered around the world.
Trump's doing his old man waddle.
And especially in the Middle East, but in parts of Africa too. And we stand for the same thing.
And don't forget, it was President Erdogan that helped very much get rid of a very bad ruler of Syria. That was President Erdogan. And he never wanted the credit for it, but he really gets a lot of credit.
Yeah, no, it's not that he didn't want the credit for it. He was fighting, he was supporting the rebels in many ways the same way we were. Because Assad was flooding Turkey and half the Middle East with Captagon, with their version, with fucking Breaking Bad level meth.
Bibi agrees with that. I agree with. I mean, I know it. And President Erdogan should get a lot of good credit for what he did. He got rid of some
good credit,
very bad people, and. You know, they've been wanting to do that for 1,000 years with different names, but for 1,000 years in Syria. President Erdogan did it, and we give him a lot.
What? They've been trying to get rid of the Assad family for thousands of years?
A lot of credit. I give him a lot of credit. But I think...
Thousands of years. This asshole thinks that shit that happened in the 60s was 1,000 years ago.
I think it's going to work out well between Syria and Israel.
Because he thinks everything's about money, and he has no religious conviction, so he can't understand people who do.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
The Lebanese government is not meeting the terms of the ceasefire agreement, has failed to disarm Hezbollah, actually. In your view, should Israel strike the terrorist organization again?
Well, we're going to see about that. We'll see about it.
In a very short period of time.
The Lebanese government is at a little bit of a disadvantage, if you think of it, with Hezbollah. But Hezbollah has been behaving badly.
Why? Because they control half the country, and like the southern half should be called Hezbollistan. Oy. Oh, Angela says 37 hours both ways. What the fuck does he mean? He means the round trip is 37 hours because he thinks that's a big deal. The B-2 bombers circle the Earth sometimes. They literally, like, when we're at, like, DEFCON 3, they go up and stay up. So stupid.
Badly. So we'll see what happens.
Mr. President,
Mr. President, how close are we to another operation of Israel in Iran? You said before the meeting with Netanyahu that you are in support of Israel if the ballistic missile project will take on and also the nuclear weapon. But after the meeting, after what you know from the intelligence, how close are we to another war with Iran?
Well, I don't want to say that, but Iran may be behaving badly.
They might need a little spanky on their tushy, you know. They may be being naughty a little bit. They might, they might have to go to bed without a reach around.
It hasn't been confirmed, but if it's confirmed, look, they know the consequences. Consequences will be very powerful. Maybe more powerful than the last time. Yeah.
Maybe.
And Iran should have made a deal the last time. I gave them the option. I said, you can make a deal. Do it.
They already had a deal. They don't trust you to keep it, stupid.
I told them, do it.
And they were like, we did it. And you undid it.
And they didn't believe me. Now they believe me.
Gee, I wonder why. What? Also, what do you mean now they believe you? You said after last time. After you bombed them last time, they said, their basically response is, we don't think you're going to stop, so we're just going to keep building our nukes until we have one, and then we can tell you to fuck off. Our only defense will be having nukes.
Behaving badly, and what do you mean by that?
This is just what we hear. But usually, where there's smoke, there's fire. Have you heard the expression?
No, I'm not familiar with that. It's brand new. Did you invent that? It's incredible.
What do you mean related to the nuclear capability?
Well, no, I'm hearing that they're not nuclear yet, but maybe nuclear too. The sites were obliterated, but they're looking at other sites. That's what I've heard. They're looking. So it'll take a long time. They're not going to go back to where they were, but they have other places they can go. And if they're doing that, they're making a big mistake. Yeah, please. There's no reason for them to do it.
There's every reason for them to do it. That's the problem.
Mr. President, is the United States currently open to engaging in bilateral discussions with Tehran? We're hearing reports from numerous countries that there may be some discussions. Is that something you would support, or something that is
I would.
You
Sure.
would support that?
I would, yes.
Right now. Thank you, sir.
I have been, by the way, before the war, I would support that. I said to him, baby, I said, let's negotiate. And they didn't believe what was going to happen would happen. Yes, ma'am.
What? That they didn't believe that you were nuts and you would bomb a place and ask questions later? Of course they believed it. They just can't shut down their system because it's their only road to safety. It's completely fucking stupid.
So China's been doing naval exercises basically to test encircling Taiwan. Can you explain to us what your knowledge is of that? What do you think about that? Have you had any discussions with China?
Well, I have a great
that?
relationship with President Xi, and he hasn't told me anything about it. I certainly have seen it, but he hasn't told me anything about it, and I don't believe he's going to be doing it.
Does it worry you?
No, nothing worries me.
But
Nothing.
Nothing worries you. Apparently the Epstein files are, slowing your roll a little bit, though.
So if you're if you're doing naval exercises and air exercises.
Well, they've been doing naval exercises for 20 years in that area. Now people take it a little bit differently, but in fact larger than they're doing right now. So we'll see. But they've been doing that for 20, 25 years. Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't mean naval exercise. He means Kegels.
Mr. President, if you don't see Hamas disarm in that short amount of time that you're giving them, can you tell us what the next steps would be?
It'll be horrible for them. Horrible.
Horrible.
It's going to be really, really
horrible.
Bad for them. And I don't
Really
want that
terrible.
to happen. But they made it.
I don't want it to
They
happen.
were going to disarm.
I don't know.
And you couldn't blame Israel. By the way, we have other countries that will come in and do it. They said, let us do it for you if they don't. Countries that were with them wanted the deal to be made, agreed that they would disarm, and now if they say they're going to disarm, that's fine. If they say they're not going to disarm, those same countries will go and wipe them out. They don't even need Israel. We have many countries, 59 countries that are in agreement. This is a real peace in the Middle East.
Oh, my God.
And Hamas is a small part of it, but it's still a part of it. But we have 59 countries that signed on, big countries, countries that are outside of the Middle East, as you know the Middle East. They want to go in and wipe out Hamas. They don't want Israel. They don't need Israel. They want to do it because it's the right thing to do, because they were for the deal based on the fact that Hamas pledged, they swore.
Oh, okay. No. They're... The issue with like the other countries that want to help get rid of Hamas is by and large either a Shia Sunni rift, so of course they want to kill them because they're on the other side of it. They're Sunni, the Hamas is, and the Shiites want to get rid of them, or they, in some cases it's the enemy of my enemy is my friend, depending on the depth of the sectarianism, or it's a power grab. They want to get rid of Hamas so that they can move in and do more. So stupid. There we go.
That they were going to disarm. Now, if they're not going to disarm, those same countries will wipe out Hamas. Yeah.
President Trump, do you think that the PA should be involved the day after in Gaza Strip, even in the near future? And the same question to Prime Minister Netanyahu. Do you see a real opportunity that the PA will be in Gaza?
Go ahead, Mimi.
I think President Trump put clearly the conditions of reform that he wants to see in the PA for them to be involved. And I think he put it very clearly what he wants to see, the kind of real reforms, not just...
Like what?
Perfunctory reforms, but real reforms. Stop pay to slay, change the curriculum in your textbooks, open up, a different society and a different future. If they do it, well, let them
change everything about their culture, and if they wouldn't mind terribly converting to Catholicism,
I think it was clear. He put
pretty clear.
He put guidelines that were, by the way, in the Trump plan of 2020, and they were put then in the 20.
Oh, you mean the let COVID roll and it can be cured with a light bulb up your ass and bleach in your lungs?
Points, and it's up to them.
Remember this: if we didn't do what we did to Iran, just to make the subject just slightly different,
they wouldn't be moving their stuff to other sites that they had already moved out before you hit it because you gave them a heads up anyways.
You wouldn't have peace in the Middle East. You wouldn't have...
We don't have peace in the Middle East, you fucking weirdo.
Have a deal signed in the Middle East. You wouldn't have a deal.
You don't have a deal signed. You don't have a deal signed. Hamas wasn't at the signing ceremony. The peace deal between Hamas and Israel was signed in Egypt by the United States, Israel, Egypt, and Qatar. Hamas wasn't there. The other side wasn't present.
Because other Arab nations, which are great people, I know.
Sexy people, strong people, smelly, depending on which guy we're talking about. MBS, I've heard it's fairly rough. But
very well, I know them.
It's like patchouli and Dubai chocolate. It's a weird mix.
They're great people. They wouldn't be able to have agreed to peace in the Middle East because you would have had a dark cloud hanging over everything. It wouldn't have been possible.
A mushroom cloud.
So,
kind of like Russia uses.
Iran has been greatly reduced in power, prestige.
No.
I don't want to use the word humiliation because, they're trying to build up again. But we can't let them...
Yeah, no, you're the one being humiliated by this.
...build up, because if they build up, there can't be peace in the Middle East. It was a mistake.
And we want peace in the Middle East.
When they wiped out Iraq and Iran were about the same power. And they fought each other with different names for 1,000 years.
Yes, Babylon versus... Battlestar Galactica, I think it was.
And then our country came out and blew up one of those two countries, namely Iraq. And all of a sudden, Iran had the whole Middle East all to itself. But that's not true anymore. That's not true anymore.
Can you tell us something about your plan?
Say it?
Tell us something about your plan to expand the Abraham Accords. If you can tell us something about your plan to expand the Abraham Accords.
Well, the Abraham Accords are a great achievement of...
Yes, never have more countries that weren't at war signed peace deals between each other. We're hoping now to get Ireland and Scotland to stop fighting each other. Also, Norway and Sweden are thinking about joining the Odin Accords.
Jared and everybody, I mean, it was one of the great achievements. They'll be expanded. Countries are already talking about expanding it, and they'll be expanded fairly quickly. Yeah, please.
Is it still on the table? The normalization?
Saudi Arabia is great. We have a great leader, and a friend of mine and a friend of a lot of people. Also an enemy of some people.
Yes, well, a lot of those people are dead, so you can kind of call it quits in that regard.
But those people aren't doing so well. No, Saudi Arabia has been very good, as far as I'm concerned. They've done everything that we can ask for.
But normalization with Israel is on the table?
They're getting along great with Israel. They will. And at some point, they'll sign the Abraham Accords.
Mr. President, so one of the big domestic tasks ahead of you is to pick a new chairman for the Fed.
Yeah.
You've said that you have one favorite, but you're
I do.
Yes. Sorry, pick another person after the last person you picked for the Fed.
So doing interviews.
Still do. Hasn't changed. Yeah, I'll announce them at the right time. There's plenty of time.
Are you? Is
but
there
in the
any
meantime, we're doing numbers that nobody's ever seen. We have $18 trillion coming in. We had a 4.3% GDP. They thought it was going to be 2%. And that's despite the Democrat shutdown.
Oh, okay, real quick. That's because of the shutdown and the stuff that was on pause driving it up after that switchover. Basically like the whipsaw. So stupid.
Had the shutdown not occurred, we would have had an extra 1.25. Think of that.
No. Had the shutdown not occurred, the static drop would have continued instead of real like flat or down a chunk right before it, and then it pops up afterwards for all the people that are like, oh shit, okay, we're not shutting down again. They're using it. It's like it's a inverted pump and dump.
We are doing, and also despite the fact that we have a fool at the Federal Reserve. I mean, Biden reappointed him. It's too bad. You would have thought he wouldn't have done that.
Oh, you mean the guy you appointed?
But
sorry, you would have think he would have replaced the guy you put there. Note to the next Democratic president, clean fucking house, apparently, because Trump expects it, his people expect it, and it's probably a good idea.
He's an absolute fool who's...
You picked him first.
Building a new Federal Reserve, or he's doing a renovation of a building. Maybe he's up to $4.1 billion to do a renovation of a few very small buildings. It's the
Gee, it's almost like the cost really is about security or something.
Highest price in the history of construction.
Not true.
He's spending more money than any building has ever spent per square foot on the renovation of, as an example, I'm doing a magnificent, big, beautiful ballroom that the country has wanted, the White House has wanted for 150 years. It's a massive...
Yeah, and you're showing chunks of fucking marble while people are losing their jobs. And if you didn't see my thing... Okay, God damn it. This morning, when I was... when I told a little story about when I went to Starbucks here in Cleveland, where we are, and everybody there was... I mean, this one girl in particular was working her ass off. She was basically carrying the shift on her back. And there are hundreds of thousands of people like that every day, just sweating and trying to keep up with a ridiculous number of orders and stuff. And, in a situation which, like, it was like watching somebody assembling fucking munitions during World War II. The speed and efficiency that was necessary, and the line of fucking people, and the short-tempered nature of the clientele, and all this stuff. And she's just busting her hump doing this. And this asshole has no connection.
Job, and it's
Hold on, let me back this up real quick. I want to do something here. Oh, sorry. 1 second.
beautiful ballroom.
Yeah. And so people like that are just humping every goddamn day. And what is he posting about? We need a ballroom. We need it to have this marble that's super, expensive. And look, I'm for our honorable buildings and our honorable places of state not being shacks. I think there's a value in that. I know there are, there's like brutalists and, on our side of the aisle and people on the right that are just like all government buildings should basically be tents ready to be torn down at any moment. I think that's garbage, and I think to some degree you live up to your environment most of the time, and people have reverence for a building that someone put care into building. That said, this is fucking buffoonery. This is puffery.
That
somebody said he has an obsession with marble. Yeah, because he's lost his.
The country has wanted, the White House has wanted for 150 years.
Yeah, like the idea that presidents going through the civil rights era, going through World War I, World War II, the Great Depression, the 2008, 9/11, the AIDS crisis, disco, that they went through all of that. And they were like, God damn it, I wish I didn't have these real issues to focus on so that I could get a ballroom built. There's just
years. It's a massive job, and it's a tiny fraction of that number. And we're under budget and ahead of schedule. Now, it's bigger than I told you. After realizing we're going to do the inauguration in that building, it's got all bulletproof glass. It's got all they call it drone-free roof.
No, they don't.
The drones won't touch it.
Drones won't touch it? Really? The droneses? He's trying to keep up with the droneses? Good fucking God. Drone-free roof? You're shitting me.
In that building, it's got all bulletproof glass. It's got all they call it drone-free roof.
No, they don't. No one calls it drone-free roof. No one has said that. No one with any fucking brains, anyways. Drone-free roof. It's got a total termite-free wood. It's got... the
drones won't touch it.
So the drones...
It's a big, beautiful, safe building. But it's a big project. For a tiny fraction of that, we're under budget and ahead of schedule.
No, you're not.
And they've wanted it for 100.
Also, what schedule?
150 years. Think of it. The Federal Reserve Building, 2 buildings there. They don't know what they're doing. They're way over budget. I mean, almost. This was built during the Biden administration, and I rode by it the other day, and it's headed by the head of the Federal Reserve.
If it's not done and he's overseeing it, it wasn't built during the Biden administration.
Too late, too late, Powell. Too late.
God damn, what a week. What a sad, pathetic nickname. I don't want to help him. I can think of 9 right now. I'm not going to say him. I'm not.
Because he's always too late with interest rates, except before the election.
Too late, Powell. Jesus.
It was too early because that would have helped. That was supposed to help get her elected. It had no impact. We won all 7 swing states. But no. We're thinking about bringing a suit against Powell for incompetence because...
You can't. We're going to bring a suit against Powell for incompetence. Dude, if you could sue people for incompetence, you'd be in court the rest of your life.
Think of it. These aren't outstanding buildings. These are small buildings. He said $4 billion more. It's going to end up costing more than $4 billion. $4 billion. It's the highest price of construction. Again, Democrats, highest price of construction per square foot in the history of the world. There's never been. Gorgeous monuments are built for a much smaller price. So we're thinking about bringing a gross incompetence, what's called gross incompetence lawsuit. It's gross incompetence.
Oh my God. Worth a gross incompetence lawsuit. Jesus Christ. Again, like there's, if that's a thing, the entire Trump family is doomed.
It's against Powell.
By the way, they're already doomed.
And it was his baby. And the guy's just incompetent. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. He's just a very incompetent man. But we're going to probably bring a lawsuit against him. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Bibi, congratulations.
Thank you. When do you expect an announcement then on Powell's replacement?
January sometime.
And will you ask Jay Powell to resign?
Well, he should resign.
Entirely?
You know, be a favor to the nation. But he's come close. I mean, we're getting pretty close. I would fire him. I'd love to fire him, but we're so close, you know, maybe it, but maybe I still might.
Will you sell F-35 to Turkey?
Say it?
Maybe I'll fire him if I want to temporarily crash the economy so that my friends can buy the dip. That's what he means, by the way.
Are you going to approve a selling of F-35 to the Turkish?
We're thinking about it very seriously.
And what is
What
your,
prevented
reaction to this?
They'll never use it again.
Thank you, Press. Thank you, Press.
Thank you, press. Please get the fuck out of here. Okay, so we had two of these. The next one was Zelensky. By the way, hit the like, share the show. It's Hal Sparks. Mega worldwide. We're all good. Make sure. Oh, shit. I didn't put it back on the screen. I beg your pardon. It wasn't worth seeing anyway, so my fault. Let me move this over here. I was screwing around with the screens. That's my bad. Sorry. I mean, you didn't miss anything. Visually.